Hi guys, 11:05 Massey driver here. It's 4th of July morning, and I'm standing out in one of my cornfields here. This isn't the one I made the update on a while back there. This corn was planted on May 19th on a Friday night in between rainstorms, and this is the first I've been in this field since I planted it. Just pan around here. It's not the best looking corn around, I can tell you that. Lots of unevenness, lots of spots where it didn't even come up. I'm not real pleased with the way this field looks. Lots of bare spots, the hills are kind of thin, which doesn't make any sense. Even though I planted it before a big rain. Well, not a huge rain, but plenty enough. It was ideal planting. Pan around over here. It was perfect condition when I came in here to plant this, and just as I was finishing up, it started raining pretty good. And I don't know how much rain we got that night, but it was plenty. But then it dried up. I mean, it wasn't like we got pounded with rain then. We didn't have the heat right off the bat, but it just, I don't know if it was that initial rain when I planted or what, but it just, lots of spots never came up. You can just about tell every spot where the sprayer ran. They actually were spraying this corn when I was in planting it. And, but this stuff is, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's lots of thin spots, and some of this corn's up over my waist and some of it's under my knee, so so do you call it knee high by the 4th? Well, I don't know. Part of it is, part of it isn't. It's like this spot I'm standing in is just about at the knee, but not quite. But then if you get right out in front of me there about 30 yards, that stuff's waist high. But there's lots of, we had rain last night. Now, I only had 3/10 at my house, which is, I'm guessing somewhere between 6 and 7 miles from here, or 5 to 7 miles anyhow. And I had 3/10. Now, there's water laying in this field, so I don't know how much they had here. But you can see right here, this is where the sprayer went through. There's a 4-inch rut through there, and that'll lay wet all summer long unless we get a real good dry spell, which we have not had, which, you know, hey, take the rain when we can get it. This is the first year I've farmed this field, so I don't know much about it, but I'm learning real quick. There's lots of spots that get wet. I'll show you a spot over here that there's a real big area that didn't come up. See right here, this is waist high corn I just walked through. But I'll shoot over here. There's a wet area over here. It was wet when I planted. It was just a little soft. Didn't seem that bad, but after seeing it now, it's must be worse than I think. Now, last year this corn would have probably looked totally different, because it would have been planted around the same time probably, but it was drier last year. We didn't get the constant rains that we're getting this year. We were dry for about 2 weeks, and now here in the last couple of weeks we've been getting a couple of rains a week. Nothing, you know, some places are getting pounded, but other places I haven't been getting. I've been getting smaller amounts at my house. Now the fields I farm are scattered all around. They've been getting better rains, but you can see here, you know, there's a quarter, half acre here that has hardly anything on it, and it's wetter than all get out. Looks good on either side of it, but right here in this hole, there's nothing. But now I'll do a video of the I only have 11 acres of corn. This is 5 acres, and I have 6 acres that I did the update in. I'll do the update in that other field and show the difference, because it looks totally different than this stuff, and it was planted 2 weeks later. So I can't imagine being a big guy this year and having hundreds of acres and half of it looking like this. That would be pretty devastating. But when you only have 11 acres, it's not so bad. I mean, it's bad enough, but I'm not going to go bankrupt over it. So yeah, that's, you can see down through there, that spot, it doesn't look bad from here, but once you get out in it, boy, it looks horrible. Absolutely horrible. But not much you can do with Mother Nature. Like I say, in a drier year, this probably would have looked totally different, but we've been wet enough to start, which, hey, the moisture's nice to get everything rolling, but sometimes too much moisture is a bad thing. We'll just hope the good outweighs the bad in here come fall, but who knows. So anyhow, happy 4th of July to everyone, and I'll probably attach some more to this one, or I'm going to make several videos today, and this will just be part of it. Kind of do a little crop tour today. So, alright guys, we'll see you again. Take care. Okay guys, stopped to the crop tour this morning. This is the field I did the update in. And in that video, the beans were just poking up, which it was hard to see on that video, but now, as you can see, not so hard to see the beans now. Beans are moving right along in this field. Pretty good emergence, crooked rows, but who cares? The worst thing about this field is the groundhogs. Several groundhogs in here. I don't really see any bare spots yet, other than over there by the weeds. When I pulled in, one went running in there. He's been working on that corner there, but for the most part, kind of zoom or pan around here, that's not looking too bad. And the fertility in this field is in the toilet, but it's runted ground and it may be developed in the near future, so it doesn't get lime, or I just put fertilizer to it. But this field, well, all of the beans were sprayed pre-emerge, and the product was Broadaxe. I'd never heard of it before. I'll have to look on the sheet. There was something else in there too. Maybe I'll drop it in the description. But yeah, the bean fields are fairly clean. The only thing I'm seeing, and I don't see it much in this, in a couple spots, anything that I didn't knock down with the plow or the disc, if it was still green when they came in and sprayed, has survived. But for the most part, I mean, there's not a whole lot growing other than beans in here. I seem to be standing in a thin spot here for some reason. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how the way the soybeans look, considering the year we've had. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it here. For whatever reason, this little spot here, there ain't a whole lot growing. And I don't know if it shouldn't be groundhogs, because they do leave a little stem that, if they left them go quick enough, they'd come back. But it's like nothing came up right in this particular spot for some reason. But anyhow, yeah, they're not looking too bad. And this field must not have gotten as much rain, because this field lays wet, and I don't see any water laying in it other than just a couple little spots. There's a trace, but nothing too major. show you the headland here. The headlands look good because they overlap. Kind of gives you a false reading. But yeah, for crappy ground, these beans don't look too horrible to start. Get some more heat on them with the moisture in the ground, and they'll really start to take off. So, okay, this is stop 2. We got a couple more stops to go yet. We'll see you then. Alright guys, I'm going to finish up the crop tour for the day. I'm here where the sweet corn and the popcorn's planted and the beans. This is the last bean field I planted. I think these are probably the nicest looking beans I've got. We had rain last night, like I was saying, but over here, this is about 3 miles from home. Here's the sweet corn. They must have had a hell of a storm over here last night. We just had 3/10 of an inch at home, and it came straight down. No wind, no nothing, no pounding rain. Over here, my goodness, it's washed and dirt's moved around everywhere, especially in that corner down there. That's really wet. I got corn laying down. Must have had a lot of wind and a lot of rain yesterday over here, or last night. I mean, everything still looks decent, but it's just amazing. I'm only 3 miles from here, and just a world of difference in everything. Up by the road, it washed down across the field and out into the yard and across the driveway, and that bottom corner of the waterway took a lot of water. They ran on either ends and met in that corner down there and washed good. So yeah, I love the rain, but I hate when it comes down that hard because it just makes a mess. But so anyhow, things are looking good, just really wet now, and now we need a couple dry days would be alright to soak some of this up. So anyhow, that'll probably conclude the crop tour for the 4th of July here. I'm going to do a separate video on the last cornfield I planted. I'm going to do something different on that, so that'll be coming. So we'll see you guys later.